What's up guys, Jake Cutton from Fitness Culture. Today we're going to be going over a lower body warm-up routine from the Fitness Culture app. A big piece of feedback that we get from our members is that they really like our warm-ups. They're a little bit different than probably the way that most people warm up, and so we wanted to give you guys some ideas so you can incorporate some of these things into your warm-up. So let's get going. So there's a few different things that we like to try to focus on our warm-ups. We usually start with some core activation to get our core firing for the day. After that, the next things we're going to think about, we focus a lot on the hips to try to increase range of motion and make sure your hips are warmed up for the day. We're gonna try to do some glute activation. We're gonna fire up our groin, and then we're gonna finish the warm up with some central nervous system activation. Just get your body fired up and ready to lift for the day. All right guys, so the first movement we're gonna be showing you is a plank, and we're gonna add a leg slide to it just to kind of warm up our hips a little bit better. And planks are boring, so it just gives us kind of a rep range to hit, and then we'll just move on. So what we're gonna be doing is 15 plank slides each leg. You're just gonna get in a good solid plank, squeeze your glutes, and then from there you're just gonna bring the leg with the slider all the way out as high as you can. So depending on how mobile you are, obviously the further your leg is gonna get up. And the goal here is to stay in a good plank the entire time and just do 15 on each side. Next warm up we have today is gonna be the Bulldog Circuit. So it's just a series of movements that's basically gonna get your glutes firing and really open up your range of motion in your hips. So the goal here, you're not gonna go through it fast. You're gonna try to keep your hips square to the ground as much as you can. Obviously, it's not gonna be perfect. From there, here's gonna be the first movement. The first movement is just gonna be your standard fire hydrant where you come straight out to the side. But the goal here is once you hit in range, try to push further before you come back down. So really challenge yourself after you feel like you've hit that end range to push further. There you go, good job. The next movement, you're gonna kick back. And then from there, trying to keep your hips square as possible. Drive that knee as high up to your armpit as possible. There you go, and then back down. So really try to bring it all the way to your armpit if you can. Keep it high, bring it all the way up. There you go, and then back down. Usually the way that we go, just so you know, we'll go back and forth. So 5 of one movement on one leg, and then we'll switch to the other leg. So the next movement is gonna be the opposite of that. So we're gonna pull up to the armpit, come up, and then we're gonna push back all the way out, and then come down. The very last movement is gonna be straight out to the side. This one's probably the most challenging if you're not very flexible. You're gonna keep your leg as straight as possible, and then from there, just lift it as high as you can. Yep. Spend some time up there, let's go. There you go, nice, good job. So really that's the thing you're gonna notice with a lot of your athletes, that they're gonna cut it short and just try to get through it quickly. But if you really spend some time, like Brody just did, he increased it by like 6 more inches on that second one when I said just spend some time up there, and he increased his range of motion a lot. So that's what we're really looking for here. It's gonna get your glutes are gonna be burning, they're gonna be on fire, but also just increase range of motion in that hip capsule. Now that we've warmed up the hips and glutes a little bit, we're gonna start working on hip flexion and hip extension. So my favorite one for this by far is gonna be reverse lunge with the slider. The goal here, to make sure that you're getting good hip extension on this back leg, is try to flex your quad and keep this leg as straight as possible. It's gonna bend a little bit, but the goal is to keep it as straight as you can. From there, what we're gonna do is just try to keep most of your weight on this front leg. The back leg is kind of a guide, and you're just letting it slide out, and you're gonna drop down into a lunge. A nice deep lunge, as deep as you can get. And then once you get to the bottom, you're gonna straighten your arms and then reach out as high as possible, and you're really gonna feel it open up that down hip right here. And if you're not feeling it a ton, I mean, obviously if you're more flexible than Brody, you might sink down deeper, but the next thing that you can do is narrow your grip, and that's gonna create more tension basically in your side right here, and then you'll have more tension in your hip. So this one's great because, like I said, you're gonna be working extension on that down leg and then flexion, and so we're getting both of those in this one warm-up movement. And also in real time, they're not gonna spend a ton of time down there. You're just gonna come down, and then reach up, and then come back up. On those couple reps that Brody just did, is that he was letting his weight really slide back into that lunge. It's gonna be really hard to get up out of the lunge there. So you really wanna put that weight, it's fine to let your knee, like sink into your knee, there you go. You can let your knee come over your toe a little bit if you want to, but then your weight will be up on this front foot, and then it's gonna be a lot easier to push out of the bottom. See how much easier that was? Look at you, man, that's a lot easier. Yeah. All right guys, the next one we're gonna do is we're gonna warm up our groin a little bit. This one's probably my favorite groin warm up because it's so easy to grab the sliders and do it. It's very challenging though. So Brody's gonna be doing it with a broomstick because he's a stud. But if you're, I'd start off holding the rack because it's a lot more stable and less chance of you sliding into the splits and hurting yourself, all right? So you're gonna wanna start off, you're gonna put both your feet on the sliders. Make sure your heels are on the sliders because it's gonna slide a little bit easier that way. And I would just start by going out a little bit and then coming back, kind of feel it. But you're gonna wanna use the stick, obviously, to pull yourself back in. And you can kind of guide how much resistance you're giving yourself. All right, the last movement we're gonna do to finish our warm-up today is gonna be a broomstick jump. So on this one, it's basically just a vertical jump with a broomstick on your back. So you're gonna go into a deep squat, explode up as high as you can, and then go right back into it. We're gonna just do 5 jumps. We're just trying to fire up our central nervous system right here. So it's gonna look like this. So the biggest thing to focus on here, anytime you're jumping, is to make sure that your landing mechanics are really good, right? So if you're coming down and landing like this, you're probably not gonna wanna go into that second jump, like directly, meaning you'll jump, land, and then squat back down, jump, land, until you get good tracking mechanics with your knees. You don't wanna be pushing from that position out of the bottom of your jump. All right guys, I hope you enjoyed that warm up and it gives you some ideas on some things that you can incorporate into your training. If you wanna click a link in the description, we're gonna lay out a bunch of different warm-ups that we use in the Fitness Culture app that you can use in your training moving forward. If you like this content, please give me a comment on what you want me to cover next, and please subscribe to our channel. Thank you.